Okay, I am trying again. Let me know if anybody's here, whether you hear anything or not. Uh, Hopefully this thing works. If not, I'm gonna call it because I just can't. I'm not gonna do it today. If anybody is around, if anybody's live in chat, is anybody live? Can you hear me? Thumbs up for hear me. Thumbs down, you don't hear me. Anybody there? Let me know. Let me know if you hear anything. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, good. I swear, I tested the microphone. Windows 11, I don't know. I tested it before because we've run into this, so we're good. Okay, glad to have you guys here. Um, little what originally was Wild Card Wednesday, but then I realized that it's actually Thursday. So it's been a week. I went away for the weekend, missed swimming with the pontoon last weekend, and I came back. It's been extremely busy. As you can see, I'm not even wearing my tactical pontoon t-shirt. I did a little bit of the lighting, but I'm it's been a week. I'm tired, trying to catch up. And the thing is, I decided to do the wild card Wednesday, here being Thursday, because I will again. Good one, Scott. Well, I'm very glad that I can just read your response instead of having to hear your voice. Uh, I will be gone again for a week. It's going to be a week, give or take a couple days, and so I will be missing the next swimming with the pontoon on Sunday, and then the next one after that. So, hey, Steven, good to have you here. Good to have you here. It's been a while since you've managed to get on the lives. So, I'm gonna be gone for a week, uh, which it was bad enough being gone for 2 or 3 days because the workload crept up on me. I've spent all week catching up, and it really wouldn't have been so bad, but there was a little bit of supply issue because I ran Gunco out of their Generation 5 trigger shoes. They sent me what they have left. They're sending me a good size bit of Generation 3 black trigger shoes. I've still got some FD and gray, but black is the main seller. So it's kind of thrown me in a little bit of a loop. Hopefully tomorrow I get the hey, I Thomas, good to have you here. You can hear me now. Um, Hopefully they will arrive tomorrow so that I can catch up even farther with orders that I'm waiting on black trigger shoes, so that I can then leave and let them build up again on me. I thought about good deal, Dave. I'm glad the audio. You would think that plug and play, but I tested it. I tested it before the last stream. I did test it, and it said things were good because I ran into this by trying to make other videos. It lies. I'm going to blame it on Windows 11, but I guess audio seems to be a thing that just always is kind of iffy. So, like I said, I'm hoping, I'm praying that the the order of trigger shoes that I have coming from the Gunco for drop-ins arrives tomorrow so that I can finish up some orders before I go, because they're gonna build back up. And uh you guys don't need to hear the day to day, but I'm gonna let you guys in because it's been a week. I know that when I leave for the week, I'm going to have sincere anxiety of the orders that are building up. I had originally, for a moment, well, for a day or two, considered bringing part of my setup with me so that I could build triggers while I'm away. But as I was starting to pack things, Glock 47. Don't know what you're going to use yet. Steven, you should get a Gunco trigger shoe, even if it's not directly from me. I really, there's a reason I like them. Or Boogeyman, if you can get a hold of one. So it's going to be, like I said, I started packing some of my stuff back in the day when I only built one trigger system. I've done that. And that's when I was just doing the excommunicado triggers. And during the hurricane, I went away. I had to go away. So I brought kind of a field kit and built triggers while I was up in Missouri. With the different options that I have now, it's just not. I started packing things and I was like, you know what, I can't do that. I'm gonna have to get away for a week without completely worrying about all of that. So there will be a little bit of a delay for drop-in triggers. Leonidas, Excommunicado, those triggers already have a lead time, and I'm still gonna be able to maintain those pretty well. But the Peacemakers and the TWP, all my drop-ins, normally I've been able to ship them out within a couple days. So there will be a slight delay, but I like to say it is worth the wait. And you can always, if you were planning on ordering, you can always wait till I get back. So there's that. Christina, hello. You can hear me now, whether for better or not. And Matt, PSA, let me build them for you. You know what, Matt? Maybe one day. You're good. And I completely trust you doing that. But I almost don't trust anybody. Kind of. That is something I'm going to have to work at as I get big enough where I can bring people in. It freaks me out. I mean, as somebody who has experience as a supervisor, you would think that would be easy, but it's really not. I am a hands-on type of person. So if and when it does get to the point that I can bring somebody in, at least to help out, it will be a change to allow somebody to at least help. Which, it's different when you're doing it for a different company versus doing it for yourself. Because I try to hold everything to a standard that I personally would expect and put my name on. So to have somebody else help me with that, I would trust Matt. Actually, I would trust Matt, and I know that if he were to build triggers on his own or do some venture, his eye for detail is pretty spot on. And so I'm tooting your horn there, Matt. So anyways, going away for a week, and I will not be bringing my trigger stuff with me. There's a possibility I may do like an Instagram live stream or something, but for the most part, it'll be pretty quiet. I won't be able to stay away from my phone and watching things, just because that's the way I am. So you will hear from me. I'll be around. So what do we have what do we have going on? Like I said, it has been busy. I didn't even throw on the Tactical Pontoon shirt. We were actually really lucky. I even threw some lights on in the background. I mean, what hair is left around the outsides, I've got kind of a friar tuck going on because I've just been running around and from polishing, ordering parts, trying to find suppliers for certain parts that with supply issues of various trigger connectors or trigger bars can be interesting. That has, I've had hair to pull out. I would have done that on some things, but overall things are good. I do want to give a shout out to Nomad Defense. They have been instrumental in keeping Tactical Pontoon running because, as I said, with supply issues, one of the main things that I can rely on is their trigger block housings, which are excellent quality. They're made right. They've got the upgraded ejector for Generation 4 and Generation 5. So I just sent in an order for another 50 of those today. And like I said, he gets me. Andy at Nomad Defense gets me taken care of. Gunco, those guys out there have done amazing things to keep me busy, keep me supplied in trigger shoes. And those trigger shoes, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things. I know a couple people with some thinner diameter pins have wanted to go, because I normally use kind of what I consider a generic trigger shoe, which is the Generation 5. A couple of people have decided to go with the Generation 3. I've got more of those shoes coming. I had brought a couple in to send to certain people, and I blew through those. I know Dave, Desert Tactical, if you're still listening, I've got more coming in. Hopefully tomorrow, one of those it will be here. So if you want one, hit me up this evening, or it's going to be another week or so. And it may actually be another week ago, or a week or so, because if they don't make it here tomorrow, it'll be a week before I get a hold of them because I'm headed out. So there's that. What else? Okay. Anyways, that's kind of an update of what's going on, and me complaining, I guess. But things are good. Things are good. G-Flex Trigger. I looked on their website this weekend while I was away. I decided to take a look at the website. The reason why they do not call it a binary trigger is not because of the operation. It's because they don't want to get sued by Franklin Armory by calling it a binary trigger. So it's a reflex trigger, which is, all fine and dandy. The one thing that did catch my eye, and I kind of figured, because it's the same way when you have a binary trigger or a reflex trigger, or as I like to call it, a mistake. If you've pulled that trigger, in order for you to not shoot again, you literally have to drop the magazine and rack that round out of the slide without letting go of the trigger. That's kind of dangerous, to be completely honest. I noticed, Matt, if you're still here, I noticed that one of the guys shot his hand on the PSA Dagger group. So, when you're looking at a binary trigger, and that was just a regular trigger. May have actually been one of my triggers, but it wasn't a binary trigger. I think it came down to something that when he was reholstering or something. I didn't fully read it. I saw the pictures. I'm not a big fan of blood, to be completely honest, or gore. So I didn't look at it really close, but I did notice that it was an accidental thing. I foresee with things like a binary reflex trigger, a malfunction, that you're not able to switch that off. Stuff like that he was just unloading. And if you read the G-Flex article, their frequently asked questions, you have to unload the gun in order to not shoot that next round if you don't want to. So you're committed to it. It's a bad idea. If you want one, just know going into it, you need to be careful, because once you've committed to pulling that trigger back, when you go to release, it's going to shoot another round. It's not like a normal gun at that point. You have to know that it's going to shoot another round. And then once you've released, then you've got yet another, like normal, you've got another round in there. So drop the magazine, rack that thing out. But again, this is a safety issue, and I'm not trying to take the fun out of things. And I don't feel like it's a competitor. That's not what this has to do with it. Having dealt with the safety aspect of it, and having people that had binary triggers who didn't realize it because they didn't do a full safety check, it's concerning for me. It's concerning for me. uh, ARs where you've got a selector switch for a binary, a true binary system that's selectable, that's fine. Go for it. Have fun. But when you have something that's patched together like this, again, it's similar to me to something like Timney. It's a neat system when it works. It's light, but when you run into safety issues because you can't adjust things or you have to drop a magazine, there's too many corners that are cut and safety issues. Like I said, I planned when the Timney. Hey Christian, good to have you here. Yes, James the damn man Pontoon. I'm here for a little while. Um, when the Timney came out, I thought about using that. I saw the idea. I saw the name Timney. They've got a really good name in the AR and rifle precision world. So I thought, you know what? Let me take a look at this. I bought one, and two frames right off the bat, two of my test frames right off the bat had safety issues. It was a binary trigger, binary Timney trigger. And there was no way for me to adjust it easily. There was no way for me to out in the field adjust it without using shims and that sort of thing. It just was not something that a normal person could do. It can be done, but it's not something a normal person can do, which, that kind of throws some stuff out of it. So, again, I'm not trying to be a bah humbug or say that it's a competitor and therefore I hate it. Just the safety aspect of it and the extra knowledge that a person needs to use something like that, you got to take that into account. You can be extremely safe, and that's good. You should be. The thing about a Glock versus, say, like a high-end 1911 or your dad's old Ruger or something like that, normally that's something you would take to a gunsmith. Whether a good one or a bad one, that's another question altogether. But with the advent of something like a Glock and the aftermarket and more home gunsmiths, the aftermarket needs to be kind of careful. And having been bit by something like that in the past myself, I feel it. I feel it more than if I hadn't. So Timney released a half-finished trigger, knew it probably had safety issues, and called it a competition-only trigger. And a lot of companies are going to call them competition only just to kind of cover their own butt, which I completely understand. And yeah, I completely agree with you. They did. And it when it's tuned right, it can work. But just giving it out to the masses is just not the greatest idea. Which, like I said, I fell into my own trap because I was able to make something safe out of something that was definitely on the edge. It was safe, but it wasn't completely safe for everybody. And like went through that, learned that lesson, built, learned some skills that made something like the Leonidas possible, and lost a manufacturer and gained. It was a heck of an ordeal, and I would hate for anybody else to go through it. But more than anything, I would hate for somebody to get hurt. And yeah, so that's kind of my little G-Flex thing. I've looked at the pictures. They definitely have some doctored pictures on their website. If you look at the trigger block housing, the pictures where they show what would be the you call it the left side of the trigger housing. The left side of the trigger housing they have blanked out, and that. But when you spin the trigger around on their website for the pictures, you can see all the way through it. So they're hiding something in there, which I believe is where their disconnector is coming from. Was all about to get a binary trigger. After I gave him my 2 cents, he dropped the idea. Hey, you did you gave him your 2 cents, and that's a good idea, Dave. If people want to go have fun, that's fine. But again, the safety aspect. Shane, Pontoon Badger, that's me. Yeah, how are you enjoying that Leonidas on your G34? Hopefully you're having fun with that guy. I warn people when it comes to when you buy a trigger, if you buy a Leonidas, beware. It's going to ruin other triggers for you. It's just the absolute truth. I have not had anybody that has bought a Leonidas that basically went back to just an excommunicado or one of the other systems. So beware, because it is expensive, and I really wish, and maybe one day, yes, Stephen, it will make you a trigger snob for life. One day, hopefully, if Tactical Pontoon can get big enough, and where I can have some of that work built into, let's say, a trigger block housing, it could be something that I could bring the price down. But in order to do it, there's so much work to maintain the safeties that it's just it is expensive, and that's just an unfortunate part of it. But just one, it'll rock and roll for you. If you just have one Glock, spend it on the Leonidas. I mean, at the same time, don't, because it could ruin it for you. But do it because I'm fat and I gotta eat. I'm gonna go with that. Your Leo precision slide parts came today. Good, Christian. That means you'll be closer and closer to getting that thing together. I've had good luck with their upper parts kits, so you should be pretty good to go. Oh, excuse me. I sent out to Clint at Sapper Tactical the Marconi slide, the SCT lower, and a mag extension. So that's going there. He's going to do his Cerakote work. Like I said, that left out yesterday. He'll get a chance to do some awesome Cerakote work on it, and then it will come back, and then the frame will head out to Piccoli Gunworks for some amazing stipple work, and then that gun will be together. I've got a Nomad Defense. Shout out to Nomad. I have a Nomad Defense frame that we talked about last week that is going to Nevada Cerakote, along with one of the Gunco Elite slides. Sorry, I got a little bit of air bubble going on here. So if I burp, I apologize, but it'll be in high def. Where was I at? Oh, if you haven't followed them already, go check Nevada Cerakote out on Instagram. You get an idea of what the paint scheme is going to be. It's pretty out there. It's gonna be cool. So I am looking forward to that. Leo Precision, Stephen, is kind of, they sell a lot of bulk parts kits. I would call it middle of the road stuff that is decent. Especially when you consider how expensive the factory parts kits are going. Really, about the only thing that I might change out eventually would be the striker, but for the most part, it's a good parts kit. I've got a couple of them in a couple. Also, what I do plan on doing, and this may go directly to Instagram before once we do it, I will be bringing the Boomerang G17L with me, and I plan on hitting the range. So I'll see about getting some video of shooting the G17L Boomerang. That's the plan. I've got it packed up. It is coming with me. So look forward to that. That should be fun. I do wish, now not a binary, but if switches were available, and no, I'm not going to tweak my gun so that it's binary. Uh, that would be funny. That would be really funny. And then tag Big Daddy Unlimited on that. Not going to do that. Be fun. Gonna shoot that. We'll get some video of that. Maybe I'll shoot. I do plan on bringing the OZ9 and shooting that. Just gonna bring a couple. I don't plan on bringing everything, but just a couple. Hit the range, which is something I need to do more often. But we're gonna do it while I'm out there. Spent money on another something a little bit bigger to get up there and take all the dogs. Normally I don't take all of the dogs with me, but after the incident earlier this year, I'm bringing all 3 dogs as well as luggage and stuff. So it wasn't going to fit in the little Jeep Renegade very well. It packed, but and then it definitely wasn't going to go in the Challenger because that's not really a cruising car for trips like that. So a Jeep Grand Cherokee popped up in online. I tried getting them down to the point where I could just buy it outright, but they wouldn't move, and I can't blame them because the price was right. I do believe this was owned by some old gray hairs. Not that I have room to talk. Shit. I can't really say gray hairs anymore, can I? I can't say that because I am one. Birthday's coming up. Anyways, shit. Okay. So picked up a Grand Cherokee. Like I said, I was trying to buy it outright, but I could not get them to budge too much on the price. It's 2012. It's not new. But it had very low miles for that year, right at 114,000 miles. That's not bad. It's nothing special. V6. It's got the 5-speed Mercedes transmission, which means it's very slow, but it will probably last for just about ever. So yeah, I pretty much have room for more guns, but the dogs are going to take up a lot of that room because they're monsters. So I did that to get ready for this, which means now I got to build more triggers in order to pay for it. There goes trying to get ahead, and then tax time, all that good stuff. Fun stuff. But like we were talking, gray hair's birthday is coming up April 1st. Yes, I am an April Fool's baby. Most people get 1 day a year to play pranks on people. I have to uphold that all year round. It is a duty that I take very seriously. It is something that, it's near and dear to my heart, playing pranks on everybody. Oh, yes, the Ides. Is it Ides? I know what you're talking about. The Ides of March. Well, good. Happy birthday, Stephen. I'm sure you're getting younger just like myself. That's a good thing. If only we got younger with the knowledge that we know now. I look back at, some things. I've been here when I'm not in the shop. I've been watching older movies because the newer stuff is crap. Newer TV shows are crap. So I've been watching some older movies. I watched Romeo Must Die, and it's funny. How when you watch something you haven't watched in quite a while, how it brings you back to kind of what you were doing the first time you've seen a movie, and it brought back memories. It's not, the story is not good. There are a lot of plot holes and a lot of it doesn't make sense, but it's fun, and it didn't try to preach at you really, which is something you don't find in a lot of newer media nowadays. I know we normally talk about gun stuff, but I'm going to ramble for a little bit. So that was fun. It brought me back to, I'm listening to the music, not really my kind of music per se, but it just brought me back to what was, and this is a movie that's 23 years old at this point. It just blows me uh blows me away 20 years ago, 23 years ago that movie was made. And for me, I still feel like it's a newer movie. Binge Star Wars. I need to do that. I haven't done that in forever, especially the originals. Prequels good, sequels, they kind of lost me there for a while. Yes, with the knowledge I know, yes, I wish I could go back. I'd like to say I'm smarter. I'm calmer. Less external anxiety. It's still in there. I've got less of it externally, so I can make calm, somewhat, you might say, better decisions. Watching The Office again, that's always a plus. You can't go wrong with The Office. Another one that I watched through here recently is, and that's obvious by my sticker choice, was Breaking Bad, and then Better Call Saul. Man, Breaking Bad, I could watch that a million, even though it's not old, but it's well done. It's well done. You catch little things that are kind of iffy here and there, but overall, they don't make stuff like that anymore. Better Call Saul was great. Patience is a learned. It is a learned skill. I have it, but I don't. I have it because I have to. But the reality is, between somewhat of an anxiety driven thing and patience, I have it only because it's learned, because I have the control. It's not because I'm actually patient. Mike, you love your Peacemaker. Awesome. I am glad you do. I really was not going to do drop-ins until I came up with something that I knew would work. And sounds like it's rocking and rolling for you. Walking Dead. For me, it was about season 5 or so. I really kind of lost a lot of interest about season 3. And I love zombie movies. I am a zombie movie freak in a way, I guess you could say. Love zombie movies. The first season I thought was good. Second season was boring at first, but I still liked what was going on. When they got stuck in the prison in season 3, it threw me. It was all the human drama. Pardon me. I told you. I had an air bubble. But I didn't make it past like season 5. And then life got busy and I didn't even realize it was still on. My brother actually told me they got a side story that's like teenagers or something. I don't know. I'm like, it stopped being interesting for me for a while. Season, yeah, I couldn't make it. Waiting on a Gen 3 4.0 Peacemaker. Yes, we're gonna make that happen, Dave. That 4.0 Peacemaker. Like I said, I got it. Maybe tomorrow when I've got that. We'll see, but we'll definitely get you hooked up on that. What was one I watched while I was away? I watched 65 with Adam Driver. I know we could be talking triggers. If anybody has any trigger questions or whatnot, hit me up. Throw it in the chat. I will answer. This is just kind of an easy wild card Wednesday on a Thursday. We'll go to an hour and then I gotta jump off here. I got a couple triggers to knock out. I've got some stuff. Busy. But I wanted to catch up with you guys and just let you know what was going on. I had not disappeared. Watch 65. It is not what I thought it was going to be. It's not a bad movie. It's definitely not Jurassic Park or Dino Crisis if you're a video game person. It was an adventure movie. It's played out a little bit slow at times, but I thought it came together. It wasn't super preachy or anything. There was enough action. There was enough suspense to kind of keep me into it, but it was different than I thought it was going to be. Not in a bad thing. Suspense dino horror flick. Yeah, you're right. Avatar. I did not. I've never even seen the first one all the way through. I found the first one very boring years ago. I was not looking forward to the second one. I probably will never watch the second one. It just never really did anything for me. I'm surprised. I'm both surprised and not surprised that it did as well as it has, just because people, made a big deal out of it, and so it's a spectacle, so they're going to go see it. But yeah, Indiana Jones. That's one I need to go through again. I even liked Kingdom of Crystal Skull. I liked that one. It's been a long time since I've seen the originals, so I'm putting that one on the list. Thank you, Christina. And then we've got Indiana Jones 5, which from what I've heard, they have reshot so many times, and they just recently reshot the ending again. It's from what I've heard, a mess. Hopefully it's good. No promises with Disney Lucasfilm right now. Early Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. We watched Dumb and Dumber. That is a movie that they could not make nowadays. Beautiful movie. Funny. If you haven't seen it, which I hope everybody has. Early Jim Carrey stuff. I remember watching Jim Carrey. Man, it's gonna make me old. I'm not old. I am not. Younger every year. Jim Carrey on In Living Color, which obviously he was the odd man out. Speaking of people on there, Jamie Foxx, I watched him in Collateral the other night. His whole career went from funny to more serious roles. But Jim Carrey on In Living Color, I could remember those skits. He was funny. He's still funny. He's kind of out there nowadays. But Jim Carrey, definitely earlier Jim Carrey for me is chef's kiss, if you will. Florida Man, favorite show is Miami Vice. I haven't seen Miami Vice, and I haven't seen any of the newer ones. I did. Now, when we're talking Don Johnson, him in Nash Bridges, that is a major memory for me. Is that Cuda, that yellow Cuda? Obviously, the shaker hood. There was something about that car that was one of my Mopar shaping moments. So while it wasn't Miami Vice, it was Don Johnson and Nash Bridges. Ancient Aliens. I have watched a ton of the Ancient Alien series. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I actually own the Von Daniken book somewhere. I read through that. Interesting stuff. There's a lot of questions about how some of the ancient cultures were able to build some of the massive structures that they were that they were able to do so. Get you thinking. It's definitely a guilty pleasure. Ancient Aliens. Nash Bridges. Wasn't that just a great Forensic Files? That's another one I've been through those. I do like, when I have time, I do enjoy movies and TV shows when I can. Lost is another one. That one, I enjoy it. I've never actually seen the last episode. I was told not to watch the last episode, and I never did because they said it was terrible. I was going to watch it on my second time through, and I never watched it all the way through again. We got any trigger questions? I do apologize if I'm not talking trigger stuff. I've been behind so many triggers this week. It's good to not talk about them a little bit. So, yeah. Meat Eater. That one, I don't know. Blade. The Blade series. That's another good one I need to watch. It's been a while. Speaking of, I saw a picture of Wesley Snipes recently, and the guy is looking pretty thin. I mean, wonder if he's sick. Because, in Blade and Wesley Snipes has always been a big dude. Demolition Man, That's probably one of my favorites with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. Blade was excellent. The first two, the third one, I remember it being just a little bit cartoony, but I haven't seen it in years. I'll have to add that one to the list. Spawn. I've never seen any of those movies. I know they're actually talking about making another movie, but we'll see. Hunting show. I'll have to look it up. Meat Eater. Is the Lost where they find a communication system and transmit? Yes, it is. They're on an island. There's a polar bear on the deserted island. They go back in time. There's nuclear bombs. You're literally lost watching the show. I enjoyed it at the time, and I still enjoy it because you don't know what the hell is going on half the time, and they leave enough little tantalizing clues. A lot of them never lead to anywhere. And as I was watching it back then, which was after it aired, it was already over by that time, I bought a Lost encyclopedia. And if you thought it was intricate before, buy the encyclopedia and you'll see how all of these different characters are tied into one another. And it's probably all bullshit, to be honest. And they wrote it for that encyclopedia, I'm sure. But it's fun. It's a fun world. Avatar 2 in 3D. I can imagine that was pretty in your face. You don't see too many movies in 3D anymore. They know they were doing it. One of the craziest movies I've seen in 3D is Hardcore Henry. If ever there was a movie to, unless you get sick during 3D movies, which some people do, Hardcore Henry. And if you've never seen it, you need to look it up. If you like violent video games, it is literally, it's first person. The whole movie is shot in first person. And it's like being in a video game. In 3D, it was insane. I would experience it in 3D again if for example, that technology had kept up home theater wise. But that movie, if it will make you sick. If you are prone to being sick in 3D, even not in 3D, that is one that will make you sick. Mario Brothers. I might see it. I don't know. I got away from the Nintendo stuff. Mario 64 was never my game, and that's kind of where I fell off the wagon. Yoshi's Island, Super Nintendo, I could play that. Played a lot of Super Mario Brothers on regular Nintendo. I never actually saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, the old movie. I never saw that. I saw it looked really weird, so I never saw that. Maximum Overdrive. I'm not sure. Why do I feel like I know it, but I don't. Nostalgia. I did not see that first Super Mario Brothers movie. It always looked really weird to me, and I think my parents heard about it, so they saved me from that. I've never seen it. I may actually go through, because I love terrible odd movies. That is a guilty pleasure of mine. I do like really bad stuff as well. Major fan of the first Sharknado. I actually have a poster in the shop. You can't really you can kind of see it in above the flame back there. You can't really see it. It's out of focus. But I actually I've got the poster. It's really bad. If you've ever watched it, there's so many inconsistencies and terrible acting. It's fun, and I enjoy that about it. I have a towel. I had boxers. I think I still have the boxers that were Sharknado. May have some other stuff, but I do like terrible stuff, so I can enjoy it. So I might have to check that out. Emilio Estevez masterpiece. Comet comes through and brings mechanical things to the. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Emilio Estevez. You don't see him in too much. You see his brother and his dad, but not too much Emilio Estevez unless it's Mighty Ducks. Speaking of bad things, if you want to see something that is truly terrible, uh, Netflix has Witcher Blood Origin. That is terrible. I enjoyed it because of how bad it was. It was terrible, just horrendous and brand new, or well, it was new last year. Just terrible. The Resident Evil. Now, the Resident Evil movies, I love Resident Evil. The games always have. They've never done justice to the movies. The Mila Jovovich movies have always been bad, but enjoyably bad. Um, but Netflix did a Resident Evil TV show. It is bad. You wouldn't, if you like bad things, you could watch that. I actually resubscribed to Netflix just to watch it because I heard how bad it was. Transformers. Yeah. That show. Man, I used to play with some Transformers. But no. What do we got here? Newest Resident Evil remake. The movie that they did right around the same time, it was bad, but I enjoyed it because it stuck. It did, but it didn't. It stuck kind of the source material. They changed. It's Resident Evil. We'll never get a good version of that. You guys are I'm gonna say this, and you may feel less of me, especially you, Christina. I've seen the Goonies one time, and I just, it never did anything for me. So yeah, maybe I'll watch it again. Yes, the Netflix version. I watched the whole thing. I did. It was bad, and I cannot blame you for just leaving because it was terrible. The only reason I even watched it was I was watching YouTube videos about it, and they were basically going through how bad it was, and I said I got to see this. I am into some bad stuff. Um, Goonies in theaters when it came out. Hey, that's cool. I saw the original Batman when it came out in theaters, 1989 Batman. So, I mean, I guess that's my claim to fame. I think I even saw the original Ninja Turtles, which don't even get me started on that because I could practically start a pop culture channel when it comes to movies and TV shows. I'm kind of a geek when it comes to that stuff. Maybe I will one of these. I'll just keep Tactical Pontoon open. But yeah, they've kind of ruined the Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Yeah. Sniper movies. I have seen the first one. I love Tom Berenger in Sniper. Yes. When he blew his finger off at the end and he's got to shoot that guy. Awesome. Yes. I don't think I've seen any of the other Sniper movies. Now there's another movie with Tom Berenger from Sniper called The Substitute. If you like Sniper, or you like Tom Berenger, Substitute. That's another movie. That one's kind of fun. That one's fun with Tom Berenger. He goes in as a substitute, and he's like, it's been so long since I've seen it. I think he's like Army or Special Forces or something, and goes to an inner city school, becomes a substitute teacher. It's entertaining. I actually, I'm gonna go watch. I'm gonna watch. I may watch it tonight. Actually. Carrying an OZ9 Leonidas while wearing a Trigger Jedi shirt. That you sir win. Now I will say, Nordic Nevadan, I saw in your latest pictures on Facebook you were wearing a Tactical Pontoon shirt, the same one that I normally wear, but right now I'm not because I'm lazy. And your Tactical Pontoon shirt. Hey, everybody's wearing it but me. I am wearing my, I'm fat. Don't worry. My Syndology 101, ruining good cars by making them better, which is pretty much my life. Ruining cars by making them better. Lazy rules. Yes, sometimes I've not been lazy, to be completely honest. I mean, I'm lazy. Don't get me wrong, but it has been a busy week, and I'm just kind of unwinding, spending some time with you guys, which is fun. I sometimes there'll these live streams are fun. There are times when I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to get in front of everybody and babble. Nobody wants to listen to me babble, but we do. We have a good time. Yes, Dave, you need a Tactical Pontoon shirt. You need to get with Nordic Nevadan right above you in the chat. He will get you taken care of. His shirts are very comfortable. They're cheap. I think it's too cheap, but I'm going to let him set the prices. Get with him. Okay. You love my loves. I give you some love. So yeah, there are times when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do the live thing, because the reality is I'm kind of an awkward person normally. Don't get it, don't and with the trigger cave, I don't get out a lot. So this is kind of like me getting out, talking to you guys. That's okay. Most people cannot spell, especially online. I'm kind of a grammar spelling Nazi at times, and I catch myself having to not say things online because I come off as kind of a jerk. And then sometimes I mean to. A lot of times I don't. So there are many times I delete messages before I send them, or post before I send them, because I don't want to be a jerk. Kind of want to be a jerk, but I don't want to be a jerk because, it's not good for people. Largest group of people to talk to. Well, Christina, you are always welcome here. Maybe I'll get you behind a camera one of these days. We can talk about some of the stuff you create. Probably not, because I could see you doing it. You did. I have seen you do some live streaming. So maybe one of these days. And I plan on having some more guests. I noticed that you could do it, Christina. You're not that awkward. I'm awkward. You want to talk about awkward? Talking to a guy who was homeschooled from 7th grade on. And then, I mean, you want to talk about awkward? I am awkward, stuck on a farm. So me and my people skills are not great. Maybe it's just because I think I'm talking to this microphone. You guys aren't real. So guests, I should have Mike, formerly of Swamp Fox Optics. It looks like they just made it official. Gideon Optics is going live. I should have him here soon. Looking forward to that. You want to talk optics? He is your guy. I really look forward to having him on here. He was the one who got a hold of that VP9 trigger. Did you guys? I'm not going to get in the VP9 trigger rant, but that guy. The dude, I'm gonna get into it. You guys are gonna enjoy this. The guy from last stream that I talked about, the VP9 trigger that I tried to help out, he posted again. He sent me some messages. I didn't look at them. I don't care. I gave you all your money back. All of your money back. You did not give me my time back. But then he posts publicly that he went ahead and he contacted Lazy Wolf and told them that I'm using their triggers for my trigger system, and that he was going to get them to cut off my supply of trigger shoes. And he posted something about how they weren't happy that I was using their trigger shoes. Well, if they have a problem, they can email me. I've yet to receive an email. And if they want to stop me from making VP9 triggers with their trigger shoes, that's fine. I really do the VP9s as extra. They take time. I don't really need to do them. But to literally not have anything but time, and to try to shut my business down, part of my business down, when I gave you all of your money back because I wasn't going to deal with all of your red flags, and then to go tell a company that I'm using their trick, they already know. For one, I've dealt with them in the past. Yeah, maybe they're not happy, but they're going to take my money. It's not like I'm working with, I don't do anything to the trigger shoe. If there was another trigger shoe out there, yeah, I'd probably use it, but it's actually a really nice trigger shoe. And the fact that I use their trigger shoe is a thumbs up to them for creating a good product. But if they don't want to sell to me because some jackass told on me, come on. Okay, Steven, I'll go through it. We're nearing the hour mark, but for you, Steven, I will go through it. Milled for an optic. Go to United R&D, United Research and Development. Those guys are good from it being milled for an optic. Steven, I'm going to go through it real quick. Had a guy. He's been talking to me for a couple weeks. He would ask questions about Glock triggers. Then he realized I had a VP9 trigger system that I did. He was interested in it. He asked me a bunch of questions. What made mine different from everybody else's? Because there's only a couple people out there that do them. Then he wanted to know what trigger shoe I used. Then he wanted to know why on my website I have another trigger shoe from an old system, and it's not even on that page, of the old Lobos trigger shoe. I don't sell those. They don't sell them anymore. They were okay. They looked really cool, but they weren't great. He wanted to buy my personal one. I've already sold that one. So it was just back and forth. There were a lot of red flags. Finally, he went ahead and he bought one of my systems on the website. Let me know. Then he says, hey, because I have a 4-week lead time on those. He says, is there any way that I can get a rush order on this? And normally that's a major red flag. Maybe I was just tired or something. I didn't notice it. I said, you know what? I can do that. I will actually do that because I'm building one for a friend, Mike from Swamp Fox. I'm building one for a friend. He's not in a major hurry. You're in luck. I will do it. He's like, I will pay you extra to do that. I said, okay. He paid me on Venmo. He paid me an extra $40 on Venmo. And I was like, okay, red flags are popping. I was tired, so I should have known better. I said, by the end of the week, I'll have it done. The next day was Thursday. I finished it early for him because I felt obligated for taking his extra money. I finished it early. I took time out of my day to finish it. I finished it. I posted a picture on Instagram. I sent him a picture and said, hey, I got it done. The thing I didn't realize, it didn't even occur to me, was I had a different variation of the Lazy Wolf trigger shoe than what I had on my website. It had a little machine mark down the middle instead of the all flat one with a little curve at the bottom. Sent him a picture. I went inside to go box it up with the other triggers. He sends me a message. Hey, I don't know if that trigger is going to work for me. I said, okay, this is the one I have. And I sent him a message. Didn't hear back from him. I boxed it up just in case. I get all the way to the post office. I'm literally walking into the post office and I get a message. Yeah, that one's not going to work for me. Just return the money I sent, the extra money I sent you, and I'll wait. But if you can do it faster or whatever it was, we'll just deal with that. So I refunded him. I didn't even answer him. I just refunded him his money because I knew between the questions he had asked before and what he was trying to do, I knew red flags popping everywhere. So I said, I'm going to send him a full refund and I'm going to send him his money back on Venmo, that like his other money that he sent, that really, I don't know about you, but any sort of custom orders or anything I've ever done where I had to send an extra payment, that's non-refundable. But I don't care. I just want to refund him all of his money. Well, I refunded him all of his money. And about an hour later, he writes me this big, long message about how it was unprofessional of me to refund him his money and why I didn't have the correct part, and just this long email about how bad I was doing and how I kind of screwed him. when I sent him all of his money back, and he was going to have to wait to get his money back. And it's still on Instagram, because not only did he send it to me, he posted it publicly on 3 or 4 different posts. The same rant. And then he sent me like 10 other messages that I didn't open. Then he starts sending that same message to people that follow me on Instagram. United R&D, Tommy Gun Stippling, and Stuart. I believe you got one. So he sends all that, and then is quiet. And then here recently, he starts up again about how he told Lazy Wolf on me. Well, guess what? If Lazy Wolf doesn't want me to use their trigger, that is fine. I do this as an extra. I don't need to do VP9 triggers. I do it as fun because I came up with that design several years ago, and it's great. It works great. There's not a lot of VP9s out there that people spend the money on. It's not like a Glock. So anyways, if I stop offering VP9 triggers, you know why? Maybe I'll have somebody build me a trigger shoe of my own. So it is what it is. But my goodness, sometimes the things that go through people's minds, I really was trying to do the man a favor and then go above and beyond. And then go above and beyond by sending him all of his money back. You really aren't going to see that from many other people. And then now I'm the bad guy. It's just, it blows me away sometimes. But what really blows me away is you guys, good people who either have bought one of my triggers, or I've helped tune one of your triggers, or troubleshoot one of your triggers. That's really the part that sticks. Yeah, we get some crazy stuff, get some crazy people, but overall, you guys are awesome. You guys allow me to do this. And then you allow me to rant and rave for an hour over movies, bad movies, good movies. Give me ideas for movies I need to watch. I am watching The Substitute. I forgot about that movie until just now. And Men Sniper and Maximum Overdrive. So while I'm away, not building triggers, I'm going to catch up on some movies, some old movies, some good movies. So, guys, most normal person you'll ever, that scares me, Embalmed. Your name's Embalmed and you're normal. It might be a red flag. Yeah. Overall, I've been very fortunate when I put a lead time. I get very few people that try to hedge their way into something faster. It does happen. And when I say red flag, out of probably 5 or so people, 5 to 10 people, maybe less, maybe more over the years that have done that, it's normally ended up bad. Honestly, it has. And that is the final red flag. If I get another one, and I say that, but watch me, because I really do like to take care of people. If I get another one, I will refund. Please don't ask me to do a rush job. I really do try to build these as fast as possible while maintaining quality and semblance of my sanity. Most I will ever ask is, what is a realistic expectation to have? And that makes you extraordinary, if you ask me. Normal nowadays is it's like common sense. Watch Cobra. Oh my goodness, that's another one I've not seen in forever. Cobra. I've seen it one time a long time ago when he's got the lead sled, the old 49 Mercury lead sled, as I recall. It may not be a lead sled, but yes, Cobra. So guys, I've had a long day. I still have more to do. So I'm going to end it for now. I will be back we'll do a live stream when I get back. Once I get settled back in, I may do something live on Instagram, but we'll see. As always, if you need anything, hit me up on the website. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a message. Don't call. I'm not a big phone person. Send me a message and I'll call you if we need to. Shoot me a message. Shoot me a text. Shoot me an email. Any of that sort of thing. I will answer you. Probably not going to answer your phone call on the first ring, no matter who you are. Maybe probably not even my mom or my girlfriend. Just gonna be honest. I wouldn't even answer it from my work. Maybe that's why I'm laid off. It's okay. Their loss. All right, guys. I will catch you next time on Tactical Pontoon.